Hello, so we are here to talk about judges. We'll split this up into different types of judge, the role of a judge, evaluation of the judiciary, separation of powers, and judicial independence. So several videos coming up in this playlist. Okay, first of all, judges as a group collectively are referred to as the judiciary. Head of the judiciary is somebody called Lord Burnet, so he is the Lord Chief Justice. Judges can be split into two categories, superior judges and inferior judges. Well, superior judges, where do they sit? They sit in the superior courts. So they will sit in the High Court, they will sit in the Court of Appeal, and they will sit in the Supreme Court. So you have justices of the Supreme Court, Lord Justices of Appeal in the Court of Appeal, and then High Court judges who are called puisne judges, and they sit in one of the three benches of the High Court. Inferior judges will sit in the Crown or County Court. So you have circuit judges in the Crown and County, recorders who are part-time in the Crown Court and sometimes in the County, district judges who will sit in the County Court, and sometimes they will hear cases in the Magistrates' Court. And then you have tribunal judges, but they we don't really need to go into them. So the types of judge, a little bit more detail about each one, and then we can move on to the role of judges. So types of judge, if you've got a question on this in the exam. First of all, justices of the Supreme Court. So they are in the Supreme Court. They will hear up to 100 cases a year. They don't hear cases of first instance, they hear appeal cases. So they'll hear civil and criminal appeals, both of those. You're likely to have been a Court of Appeal judge first of all. There are 12 Supreme Court judges, so 12 justices of the Supreme Court. 11 are men and 1 is a woman. They will listen to appeals. They will make a decision. Normally it's 5 judges who will hear an appeal, but sometimes it's 3. So either 3 to 5 judges will hear the appeal, and then they publish their judgment, and this can set precedent for the lower courts to follow. So they just deal with very important appeal cases of legal significance. The next category of judges are Lord Justices of Appeal. So they sit in the Court of Appeal. There are 36 of them in total. 26 are men and 10 are women. So they hear appeals. Again, they don't hear cases of first instance. So these are all appeal cases. And they hear appeals in the Court of Appeal Civil Division, and they will hear appeals in the Court of Appeal Criminal Division. So they hear more cases than the Supreme Court. The judges in the Court of Appeal will have been a qualified barrister or solicitor first, lots of legal experience. Probably they have been a High Court judge before as well. And they set precedent for lower courts to follow. So if there is no Supreme Court judgment for them to follow, they will then set precedent themselves for lower courts. High Court judges, sometimes called puisne judges, P-U-I-S-N-E. Those judges will have been a barrister or solicitor first, 7 years experience, or they would have been a circuit judge for 2 years. And they sit in one of the 3 divisions of the High Court, so family, tort, or chancery. Sometimes you can use High Court judges in the Crown Court. They will hear appeals, so they can hear appeals, remember, case-stated appeals from the Magistrates' Court on a point of law, and they can also hear cases of first instance. So, for example, a high-value personal injury case that's too high in value for the County Court to deal with will go to the High Court, and they will hear that in the Queen's Bench division. So you have Family, Queen's Bench, and Chancery division. Then you've got inferior judges, circuit and district judges. So circuit judges, they do a circuit of the area. So they sit in the county and the Crown Court. They make a decision in civil cases and they sentence in criminal. District judges will sit in the county court and sometimes magistrates, and they hear small claims, value cases. In the magistrates, they can sit alone and they decide the verdict and the sentence in the magistrates' court. And then finally, recorders. These are our part-time judges. The rest of the time, they are a barrister. Generally criminal cases, so they will sit in the Crown Court and they are appointed for 5 years. So tune in for the next video, which is going to be the role of a judge in a civil case and the role of a judge in a criminal case.